So civilization like the Sumerians had within their reach and capabilities to increase and decrease their size. And who says that a flying saucer or a foreign spacecraft has to come in giant size? They could reduce themselves and land here unnoticed. And maybe they've been here all the time. And when they leave, they can simply increase their size. Now, this is not science fiction. As you will see as we go on, and we will come the proof of the pudding. I have documented and actually did miniaturized and magnified life forms via interference cosmic order. It is like a hyperdimensional hologram. Imagine a flying saucer or a spaceship turned to microscopic size. Actually, as you're using these machines to produce these holograms, depending on the size of the hologram and the distance the wave travel and producing the interference, or the size of the life they will reproduce. And they can even magnify or demagnify life forms. Smart proteins holds the blueprint to all life forms, including the biomachines. Ordinary proteins holds the biostructure. Smart proteins hold the blueprints. In interference of waveforms, and perhaps seek out and process information held captive in the interference patterns. Protein scientists born out of the elixir of life that delivers the cosmic order. As I knew it since long time when I was working with the Chondrianas, that I was able to reproduce smart proteins from the tail section of the spermatozoa, where I located the remnants granules degenerated ancient cytoplasm, and I resurrected that with live crystal and put it back to production and produced a new type of Chondriana. Originally, I produced a Chondriana from the nucleus of the bottom of the head of the spermatozoa as it's entered into the ovum and produced the first haploid cell, which incidentally becoming the mammal's immune system. And if I take out that first 4 haploid cell from the ovum and deprive it from hormones and nutrients, with a primitive nutrient such as adenosine, inosine phosphate, I can force the further development. They turn into Chondriana, what they were 3.5 billion years ago. That gave me the idea to go and recall them or wake them up in our germinal cells produced in our sex gland, and succeeded to reproduce the Chondriana from them. From then I went to genetic material, chromosomes and DNA, to use the information to reproduce the Chondriana. And then finally I was able to reproduce the ancient Chondriana from the midsection of the tail of the spermatozoa, where I produced the ancient smart protein. When I got to the shark Chondriana, which incidentally had fins and tails, when I called them back to life, the shark spermatozoa and its tail still today can produce proteins, and that's why they can reproduce their tail if they get injured or rebuild their tail. And this is why the salamander can regrow its tail. Those still existing, smart protein still existing in those species. And smart protein is holding the breath, the blueprint of creation. And they're responsible of forming RNA, DNA, and genetic materials. Even though that today the DNA has to activate the RNA, the transfer RNA, to go to the cytoplasm, and in the presence of nucleotides, they are producing proteins. But this is why, because we are degenerated, and that's the way our system is able to reproduce protein, because we do not have our capability anymore to produce sacred proteins. The cosmic scientist harnessing the cosmic order that holds the breath of creation. The arrival of this new macro science is the beginning of a new age. As we will be able to enter into a higher cosmic plane, one of the criteria is that Sumerian order, that structure to cosmic order, by altering the hydrophobic and hydrophilic properties of water, by changing the bonding energies and displacing the dipole moment of the water. And the water will assume the tetrahedral structure in liquid form and acquire these new properties. And such water is essential to all, as it is found in the nucleus of a cell, and some other organelles, like in the centriole, to build microtubules and spindles for cell division, or in the mitochondria, where the protein substrate, that processing ATP, is in a sacred geometry and it's superconductive. Or in the cerebral spinal fluid, where the nerve impulses are transferred to the distribution points. Now here you begin to see some of the machine. This is the miracle machine, is right in front of you. This is the gift of creation. A piece of machinery, sophisticated machinery, which contains a vortex disc on the top, which is black, that's placing the crest of the waveforms out of phase and break the light down. In the bottom, it's putting the crest of the waves in phase and producing coherent light beams, electron beams, proton beams. The bells in the middle are optical devices, and the system is producing sophisticated interference patterns where they lock in the genetic information, storing it, and then from that interference, which is held by the light, reproduce, or perhaps a door. Now we can peek inside and we can see what's in there, in the cosmos. But when the thousands of scientists will join me in exploring and learning and studying this system and gaining access to all their secrets, and perhaps these studies and work and search will take decades, but at the end the rewards will be there to change the world forever as we crossing the threshold into the cosmic high-tech. The cosmic technology the Sumerian had, they brought with them when they landed in the Mesopotamian valley 7,000 years ago. Now the Sumerian literature they left behind and the artifacts has been testifying and translated, and the Sumerian math and geometry has been restored. To understand the cosmos and how the energy has been condensed into matter, the life process is self-controlling. Once we provide the elixir of life, such elixir the Sumerians had has been rediscovered. Now that I know what I know, I realize how little we all know.